feel me? I hope you do.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds,
RVD. Boom.
And Sub Van Dam.
Hey.
And y'all are wearing the same color.
Hey.
So chill. Look at her.
Sub Van Dam. Sub Van
Sub
Dam.
Van Dam. Yeah. What's up? And KTVD too. What's happening? How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. What's going on? Hey, Saba.
Hello, Saba.
Yes.
Look at her. She wants to hang out.
W. I can't believe how aware they are and how much you can interact with little babies. I had no idea, but they try and get the message across to you, with what they want, and they pay so much attention, and I just had no idea.
She's still looking at her. She's staring at you. She's ready to hang out with you, Rob, too.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
Oh my gosh.
Sweetie.
Where's Karma at?
My mom is with her right now.
Oh, okay.
She's teething, so she's going through it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it's good to have you guys here. Good to have everybody live in the chat here too. We got Maddie in the house. We got Jem the Dawn. Shout out to Robert Riffith. He's the new guy in town, so he's saying everything sounded good here too.
Right on. What's up, Van Dam fam? Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, y'all.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. Thanks. Yeah, if you guys like this too, you guys like doing Wednesdays? I enjoy doing Wednesdays. I like Wednesday nights. So if we want to keep doing it, that's works for me. If you guys in the chat like it too, let us know for sure.
Jim knows tonight's episode is going to be a banger.
He knows.
Yeah. Knows it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a real good banger. Heck yeah. So Rob, you got some announcements to make. You already made them, but let's hear them on RVD.
Yeah, you may have caught word on social media, but RVD Cannabis has reached fruition, reached the market. This week we had a soft launch, so you can go to damngoodcbd.com and rvd420.com. But as Dom and I were discussing, we got a roadblock that came up that said something about private information when we tried the other one yesterday. It took me to that site there, but anyway, yeah, there's they said they're going to be loading it up with products today, so keep checking back with it. But so far it's gummies, CBD gummies, and it's also merchandise, and we're going to be rolling out in several states. We have several partners that are dispensaries that will be carrying the product with really big names. If you're familiar with Bahama Mamas or Planet 13 here in Las Vegas, Mint dispensaries, they have 34 or more dispensaries around the country. So pretty stoked. This is really big. Anyone wondering, yes, I will bring my pain cream back because it was the best in the market, and a lot of people got to try it and miss it. So that's one of my priorities. I've already given it to the labs to recreate, and we will have pre-rolls, we'll have flowers, we'll have THC drinks. When it comes to the CBD, there's products. When it comes to THC, there's products. We'll be doing other cannabinoids as well. I'm looking forward to going on a bit of a tour and actually visiting the dispensaries in different states, especially Battle Creek, Michigan, to the marijuana mile, as they call it, where all the dispensaries are on Columbia Avenue right now, because that was not part of Battle Creek when I was there, of course, and having left, left Battle Creek, went out into the real world with Battle Creek watching, proud of me, and then a lot of them would say that that the cannabis has held me back or put a bump or two in my road, for sure. So to be able to say, not only are we talking about turning a negative into a positive, but I never changed my views on it ever since the beginning. I've always known that cannabis would eventually be legalized and accepted. I always knew common sense would prevail. If you don't know, we've just rescheduled cannabis from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3. That's huge. To try and demonstrate just how big that is, my entire life has been a Schedule 1 since 1970. Cannabis has been, it's been prohibited since the 30s, but in 1970, Richard Nixon made the Controlled Substance Act, where he's going to categorize all these drugs. Schedule 1 is the most harmful for your health, for society, most addictive, no medicinal benefits whatsoever. Well, that's where they put cannabis. It's supposed to be temporary, why they did a study, but when the reports came back from the study, that was inconsistent with Nixon's agenda, so he threw the report in the trash. And cannabis has always been a number one scheduled substance for the last 56 years. So
yeah, something like that. Yeah. Well, like I said, my whole life. So that's really, really huge. And also, it's been a long time coming because of the hypocrisy. While they say it's non-medicinal, they actually were giving THC as medicine to people that are wasting away with diseases like AIDS or severe cancer. Like, it's called Marinol. It's a pill, THC, 100%. They've always had that. So that's the hypocrisy. They also grew weed. And I used to mail pre-rolled joints to people that were involved in this program in the 70s or 80s, I believe the 80s. Grandfathered in for life, though, well after the program closed. They would still send them weed, while at the same time, other people are getting thrown in jail, their houses sold, their dogs killed because of cannabis and because of its classification. Now that it's a Schedule 3, things are going to change. It's going to be a lot more acceptable. The education is going to be changing for people. I was taught it was a dangerous hallucinogenic, along with heroin, acid, PCP. I was scared to death of cannabis growing up. It's the worst. Well, that's going to change because it's getting more accepted. For the first time now, they're saying that more adults in the United States are actually smoking cannabis or consuming it more than alcohol, and that's a big difference. When I started advocating, everybody was smoking cigarettes, and I was trying to tell them, you're killing yourself with the cigarettes. 50% of long-term cigarette smokers die as a direct cause of the smoking cigarettes. And while cannabis is the most dangerous, it's got 0 deaths. It does not produce enough toxicity to cause fatality. And that's always been something that I thought if people knew, that they'd be interested in it, at least because, again, of the hypocrisy of the federal government. You leaving, baby?
I'm gonna just go check on Cara.
Oh, okay. So anyway, it's kind of an exciting time now for cannabis, for the industry. Oh, come here, Lovey.
Oh, Lovey.
Yeah.
Poor
For some
Lovey.
reason, she can't jump off of anything the last couple of days. She just cries when she's on the couch or on a bed and waits for us to get her. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, I want to make cannabis more accessible for people who do want it. It's not for everybody. If they want it or need it, I definitely want to make it so that they can have it. And it comes in all kinds of forms. We got gummies, lollipops. Not everyone has to smoke, and a lot of people don't like smoking, and I get that. That's my preferred method through trial and error. But I get it if that's not the way that you want to consume. So there's lots of other options if you even want to do that. But anyway, I've always known that eventually people would come around and they would learn, like, hey, this cannabis thing isn't the evil devil's lettuce that we were taught back in the day. And we really were in the 30s when they campaigned to originally prohibit it. They wanted you to think it was evil. It made you insane and violent. And it's always been a disinformation campaign from the government to scare people away from cannabis. And the reason is because you can replace so many products, so many big conglomerate businesses. Like Jack Harry used to tell me 80% of everything can be replaced with hemp. You can use it as fuel, not just the lumber in the wall, but the actual paint, the vinyl. You can eat it. You can wash your hair with it. You can wear it. You can do anything. And in a lot of cases, it's superior to its competitive textiles and textures, whether in the final product or in manufacturing or both. So anyway, for a long time, cannabis has been the bad guy for reasons that are false, for directly and intentionally false information. Also, it's been associated just, with a losing lifestyle, which people are realizing there's a lot of really successful people that smoke too, and they're coming out. And they should be coming out from the shadows, not being as ashamed. I myself, although I always admitted that I smoked, I didn't smoke on camera until I did B Real's TV show, or his podcast where they roll the windows up and fishbowl us in the car. What's that called?
Yeah.
You know?
Hot boxing?
Yeah, hot box, smoke box, whatever.
Hot boxing? Yeah.
For the longest time, I thought, if there's videos of me smoking, one, I didn't like it. Two, I thought it was an ugly look when I didn't like when I'd see pictures of it. But also, I didn't want that to be used against me and people to deny credibility based on their beliefs that, oh, it's a stoner, write it off. It's a stoner talking to you, just, don't even listen to it. Instead of listening to the actual facts. And that's where I've always felt my position was with advocacy. I've always felt like my position is more with telling people about facts, about statistics, about dates, about numbers, and about firsthand perspective. So, firsthand experience is the one that I trust the most out of all the experiences. Sometimes second or third hand experience is all you need. Someone wants to tell me how it was, whatever, being gay and what's that actor's lap? Who's the guy? Being gay in Shia LaBeouf's lap. I don't need to experience that firsthand. I'll second, third hand. That's
wait, what is this? Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, it's an interview he did where it's hilarious. He's drunk. Yeah, if you watch, hopefully somebody watching saw the interview.
He got arrested in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
And so then afterwards he was like doing press because it was like all these viral clips of like he went to jail and then was like partying right when he got bailed out. And then so he had gotten into it with a gay guy. And then he was like, gay guys scare me. I mean, be gay over there. Don't be gay in my lap. There's just so many random funny quotes.
It was funny. But anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about now. I got sidetracked. But anyway, we learned from experience firsthand or someone else telling us about their experiences or reading about someone else's. But firsthand, that's the one you can count on. That one's the realest to each person that experiences it. And I've spent, like 35 years or so studying cannabis. So I'm glad to be the guy that people can come to ask about these products and about what to expect or not to expect or dangers or whatever, it's ridiculous. Michael Phelps gets caught with weed, and instead of trying to learn from him, we try to bring him down to our level. Put the bong down and pick up some vegetables. Like, come on. What kind of role model? Dude, he's the world's greatest athlete by awards, by
Olympics.
7 medals that he, like, by those standards. And he's involved in a sport where lungs mean everything.
Yeah, big time.
And how about learning from him? You know what I mean? Like, those of us that have studied cannabis have always heard that THC actually expands your lung capacity. People that are against weed, they don't want to hear that. It doesn't make sense to them. Forget about it. Why even bother giving any credibility to it, because it doesn't even matter. Well, guess what? It's going to matter now.
Yeah, heck yeah. So this is the Damn Good CBD. That's going to be available in 7 different states, right? Is that did you know details of that?
Yeah, I don't think we're limited to 7 states. We got like a rollout plan for the summer with obligations and dispensaries and stores, but then we're picking up and we'll continue to pick up all along the way until, we're everywhere we can be. Like with CBD, of course, you can ship that off the website. You can send that everywhere. THC can't actually cross state lines. So even when it's a Schedule 3, you can have your prescription for your back pain and you can take that with you on a trip, but marijuana is still not the same, even if it is a Schedule 3. So it's still got a little ways to go, to make it like, but that's where it is right now. So it's got, like in Florida, it's got to be grown by the actual mint dispensaries that are going to be selling it. So that'll be different in each state. We have maybe 7 states listed in that summer rollout plan, but definitely not stopping there.
Yeah, ain't no stopping it. This is a nice setup for the website too. Go to damngoodcbd.com. You guys can pre-order some of the bundles here, and you get entered into a raffle. You get
yeah. Why is that funny?
First place gets a 10-minute video call with RVD. 5-second places get a recorded video from RVD.
Right.
Oh, what happened?
A 10-minute phone call with RVD?
That's what it says. 10-minute phone call. You chat with somebody on the phone, I guess. Video call.
It's a long time.
That's what are you going to talk about?
Right.
Yeah.
You can ask like so much in 10 minutes.
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, you might want to check those out, Rob. There's a few of them on here.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So RVD, you go to damngoodcbd.com, check out the raffle.
Yeah.
And then everybody else go to damngoodcbd.com. Check it out.
Yeah, I better. So you know what's cool is that the product is already in demand. Like I get asked all the time about RVD product because I had RVD CBD for a while in 2021 or whatever it was. I'm not sure. I think it ended in 23. I could be off by a year or something, but it's been gone for a while. My partners, Justin Sampus and Jesse Daly, they had their own little CBD company before. When I joined them, they were still running theirs, and then also being part of mine, but they were putting the money from mine, just putting it into their own company and then lying to me about it and telling me they weren't doing that. So that's why with that one, I just pulled the plug out. I said, fuck that. I don't want to work with those guys. And from the start, like I knew that they were sharky and struck me like sales people, more than people tell me all the time that I'm genuine, and they can tell that I appreciate it. That is a quality that I respect. So I take that compliment to heart, and therefore it inspires me to be consistent, because if you're real, you gotta be real all the time. You can't be real part of the time and full of shit the other. You know, it don't work that way. So anyway, I have a lot of people that have asked me for the last 3 years or 4 years or whatever, you know, like where can I get the product, and do you have any more of that pain cream? And so yes, and yes, man, I'm pretty excited about it, and it's going to be much bigger than it ever was before. It's not just a couple of con artists trying to
use your name and
yeah, you know what's weird is that like everything was going so good. Why stop there? Like I don't know what their long-term plan was, because like we were really on the grow, like different products, different companies, like and the future always looked like unstoppable. So then why do that? I don't know, you know, and why so early on and then cut it off? And what would you expect me to do when you tell me, oh well, I am paying myself a salary. Well, I am too. I mean, what would you expect to happen? It's weird. Don't know what their long-term goals were, but with this, you know, it's professional people that have been in, and are in and around the game for a long time, and people that have respect for me too. So, this feels way better than that ever did. You know,
well, so like far too, just
with
just
the Evil
X.
With the Evil X, I never say, you know, that there was times when everything was great. I always say there was never a time when I felt like she trusted me. Always, you know, afraid to say the wrong thing, and that's how it is with certain partnerships. Afterwards, you wonder like, why do you get involved with crazy people like that? And you try not to do it again, but sometimes it happens. But it's not the same as saying, you know, I thought for sure those guys were trustworthy at first. I wouldn't say that, just like I wouldn't say my Evil X, you know, was trusting. But I would say that right now the guys that I'm working with all seem like really good people, good intentions, and professional.
Yeah, and that's what you want too. You want to cultivate a good relationship with people you can trust, and the professional aspect. Do they have like the experience and the background and knowledge of stuff, and the passion that you do for some of this stuff too when it comes to that? So that's good. And so far, it looks like off to the right start, because the website looks great and really good setup and everything. So everybody be sure to check it out.
You got him, Jem.
Jem was on the ball with it.
I think Katie and Saba are out of the room. I don't know.
All right.
If they come back in and I don't see them, let me know.
We'll keep you posted. Maddie, I put you in the raffle. So if you guys want to, by the way, yes, the raffle. Today we're doing another RVD IOU, but you also I bought a bunch of RVD cards. So not only will you get the RVD IOU, which you get if you meet RVD in person, you can get an autograph and a picture, and you get a card too that I have a bunch of these. So I'll send an RVD IOU with this. This will be the grand prize today. And then what else is up for raffle too is this Bray Wyatt rookie card. So take a look at that. That will be available on the raffle. And then finally, we got this fantasy matches card. It's an insert with Bret Hart and Daniel Bryan on it. So that'll be also up for grabs. But grand prize will be the RVD card with the RVD IOU. If you want to enter, you do a $5 raffle. The more you pay, though, the more you'll get raffles. And I'll put the entries in there. Maddie, I'm going to give you a raffle because you did $2 ones. So I guess that works.
What other show is going to do that for you? Dom cares about his fans.
I do. For sure. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. And even if you don't pay or anything and you have a question, feel free to ask questions. I always try to keep my eyes peeled anyways. But Maddie, you will start it off with you. Any memories of Acid Sandman, Here Lizard? Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about, but I don't remember the particular day, but I've heard Sabu tell the story. Maybe I've heard Sandman tell the story too, but I've heard Sabu tell the story when Sandman was tripping on acid and was in the ring, and he thought that he was seeing a lizard. I don't remember if the lizard was an actual item that was something else that was like Sabu or something, but I just remember when Sabu was telling the story, I think they have a ladder or something. Could be wrong about that, but I just remember Sandman saying, "Here, lizard, lizard, lizard. Here, lizard, lizard, lizard," and he's talking to a lizard that he sees during the match that they were having, and that's what he's talking about. It's a popular, fun YouTube story of one of Sabu's interviews, but I don't have any personal stories to add to that. I mentioned before, that I've known a few wrestlers that have tripped acid before they've gone into the ring, and when I said that, I wasn't thinking about Sandman, although he did come to mind, but totally someone else that I had in mind that was just a partier,
Man, I mean, I can only envision what tripping on acid would be like, but I can only imagine what it'd be tripping on acid and trying to wrestle a match would be like. Be a little funky for sure. So
yeah.
All right. Well, geez, I'm surprised I never heard of that story. Another question here. 773 is life. You're in the raffle, sir or madam. Very happy to hear about these new RVD products. Was a fan of RVD CB gummies. Would be cool to see a peach rings return. Ooh, the peach rings. I do kind of remember those, Rob.
Yeah, there was neon rings and peach rings. I actually still have some, which is crazy. There's a limited supply that I have, but I'm not mailing the shit out. But a lot of product got destroyed. It just melted in storage. And then there's other product. And I use the pain cream still. So I, ended up saving a lot of that for me. But that they were and will be again a popular item. There were rings. A lot of the products won't be started up here in my mind, so a lot of the stuff will be them attaching my name to products within a range that they have a freedom to do so. And then quite often, probably mostly, they'll be wanting to get my opinion or approval on certain things. But it's not as much as before, like Three Stooges making everything happen. This one is more like people that are out there in the industry selling stuff and finding ones that'll be good ideas to put my brand on, and it's gonna be way better that way.
Heck yeah. And what was I gonna say about that too? That I thought was cool.
Peach
I didn't know. Huh? Oh, peach rings. Yeah, no, the peach rings are good stuff. But yeah, like the nice thing about it too is like you putting your stamp of approval on it too means it's going to be a quality product. Oh, I know what I was going to say is that like the pain cream and everything like that, that's going to be real applicable to like wrestlers and athletes and certain things like that to kind of reach out to. So yeah, what a good start that's going to be too. And if your pain cream was top of the cream of the crop, if you will, then it's going to be good stuff. Yeah.
I was in TNA, so we could actually figure out what year it was when I started up the CBD line before, because it was part of that last run, not the 2010 run, but the 2020 run or whatever that was. Because I remember us getting promos from the TNA wrestlers, like going up to like Ethan Page and having him hold the pain cream and say, yeah, this shit's good. And I remember like Katie like stood by him and he was just like, oh, don't stand that close to me. My wife will kill me. Just because Katie wasn't wearing very much,
Yeah.
And it's funny. because we don't think about that. Cena said the same thing when we were in Boston. She wanted to get a picture. No, it wasn't Boston, but it doesn't matter. She wanted to get a picture of him one time and with him, and then when she went to do it, like she went to stand behind him, like or stand beside him and like put her arm around her waist like you normally do or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he did something like, "Oh, my wife will kill me," and stands out in my mind because as much as I complain about how insecure the Evil X was, I think everybody that's used to hearing me talk about that subject knows that would drive me crazy having a wife that was like, did you enjoy working with her? Oh, did you?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I am
sure
so,
looks like you had a lot of fun. Sure looks like you had
Yeah,
fun hanging out with her.
I mean, I've talked about this for years, but when I first got to WWE, they wanted to do this angle with me and Stephanie. And man, I was so not wanting to do it because my Evil X, I didn't want, it was going to be horrible for her that I didn't want her family members and people to be like, is Rob seeing Stephanie? Like I saw them kiss on TV. And, it was just like she was so insecure and let me know about how she felt about all that so much that like that was priority where I was like, well, that's my wife. I mean, I'm not, what do you want me to do? Like, fuck, I can't be doing shit like that. I'm just here to wrestle. And when I think about it, she actually kept me from some opportunities because of, well, I say she kept me, but that was my priorities and my choices but because of her vibe, certain paths were taken around other possible happenings in the career, some that you may know about and some that you may not. But anyway, not to say anything bad about anyone else's wife. I get it. And a lot of guys do get it, but I'm so thankful that's not me. That would drive me nuts. Nuts.
Yeah.
I would hate that unnecessary fights out of nowhere all the time.
Gosh. Yeah,
So
I bet too. And it's somebody that's super insecure about that and then just like overly jealous is just like, you got to kind of pump the brakes, take it easy. You got to like, the part of your relationship is trusting one another. And like for them to just immediately be like, well, it sure looks like you had fun with them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then a lot of times the problem is that they're not trustworthy. Because they fucked around on their spouse so many times in the past. And now they think like, why can't they just forget that and forgive me? God, that was 2 years ago. You're not going to decide how long somebody's hurt. Or
absolutely.
how long it's going to take for them to trust you again. And I wouldn't blame them if they never trust you again. I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. That's a huge thing. Like if you break my trust with stuff like that, it's like it's a point of no return.
You've proven you can do it. It's definitely within your realm of wrestling moves.
Yeah, right. It's in your realm. So Rob, so you in the Stephanie angle. Because I remember her doing something with Chris Jericho later on at that point.
It was tied into that.
That was supposed to be you then? Like maybe in that
tied
slot?
into that. It was tied into that. And then like when I was trying to tell Bruce Pritchard and whoever about my problems with it, that, that I would probably get a divorce if we, entertained some of these ideas. At one time they were like, okay, what if like Stephanie's got a thing for Rob, but Rob doesn't sell it, like doesn't really notice, and Jericho has a thing for Stephanie. So Jericho's chasing Stephanie. Stephanie's got eyes for Rob, but every time she tries to make a move or makes it known, it goes over Rob's head, and he's just too into himself. Hey, you're right. I am a handsome man. And it was something that would work with all of our characters. And
absolutely.
Something that green lit that I was told we were moving forward with. I just don't know if anyone knew or if it just fizzled out or what. I don't remember.
Wow.
That was the deal. It was gonna, like, hey, Rob, You know, you gotta
She's
dance right, you know.
boy, that would have been a fun angle though. Like, yeah, you guys would have done really well with that. That would have been a lot of fun. Maddie also adds,
Some girl
29
would be
years.
really lucky if you took them out tonight, you know, to a movie or something. Wow, thanks for the idea, Steph. You're right.
Yeah, thanks. I might
really
do that.
would be lucky. Maybe I'll go find her.
Awesome. Maddie says 29 years ago, Mr. Monday Night. Really? Oh, R.I.P. Sabu too. Yes, May 11th was the 1 year anniversary of Sabu passing.
Yeah.
So prayers up to Sabu for sure.
Wrestle for decades. You get to see all these things that happen on the same dates every year.
Yeah.
You know,
man.
like Mr. Monday Night debut.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Yeah. Somebody I saw said, didn't he jump? What didn't he jump off the R like before that or something? And no, I wasn't in that invasion when Sabu jumped off the letter R. And yeah, I wasn't there that night. Was that the same? Was that the Manhattan Ball Center? Like it seems like that's what they. Seems like that's what they say.
I would think it was, right?
Huh. Anyway, I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, okay.
Which was earlier in '97, I believe.
Yeah. You worked with Jerry Lawler though before that, though, right? You worked with him in Memphis before too.
I worked with Jerry Lawler in '91 when I was 20 years old. Not old enough to go in a bar and have a beer, but I was old enough to get into Deja Vu because they go nude, and then they don't sell beer. But in Nashville, you bring your own.
Really?
Bring your own beer to the strip club to look at this.
To look at that, the Diamond Dallas. Everybody doing the Diamond Dallas page. Everybody.
Yeah. And then they would charge you at the door. You come in, and they're like, "What do you got?" And you got a cooler with a 6-pack in it, and you would have to pay. You already bought the beer once, but now you got to pay per can to bring it in too.
What? You got to pay per can?
Pretty good racket.
Wow, I tell you what. Holy smokes, that's some good thinking on Nashville's part. Jeez. I wonder if Jerry Lawler had to do that.
With that beer, it's going to cost you.
Going to cost you a little bit of monies. Monies. You got along with Jerry okay, though?
Yeah. I mean, you know, back then when I was 20, I was just so green, just a young kid. You know what I mean? So there's nothing. But yeah, always got along with him. Yeah.
It's wild to think from Jerry, it's like, I'm of a certain generation where I just know him from like him versus Bret Hart, then him on commentary on Raw. And so I know that. But he was such a huge name in Memphis and in Nashville and all the Tennessee areas. It's like it's Jackie Fargo and then it's Jerry Lawler, basically. And it's just like, wow. So he had this whole other big name career that I was not aware of as a kid. It's just crazy to kind of think about that.
Yeah. I didn't like teaming with him, but it wasn't like personal against him when I was in WWE in '97. I didn't like that story because it was contradicting the story that I thought I was there to tell. You know, I was there, Mr. Monday Night, ECW. ECW's the heels on Raw now, and we're beating Raw wrestlers. Then all of a sudden I'm teaming up with Jerry Lawler against the Headbangers and not even talking about ECW. So I was like, whoa, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Fuck that. Fuck Jerry Lawler. You know, but it wasn't personal against him though. I know I've told this story on here before, but I remember way back to the days when I was 20. One time we were in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and watching through the curtain, watching the wrestling shows. And Jerry was standing up and he had the curtains pulled around his face, you know, and he was kind of hiding because if the fans saw you, they'd want to talk to you instead of watch the match. But he was looking like this. And I was like squatted down low. Maybe I was even on my knees. I think I was just squatted or sitting on the ground. And I had, you know, I had it down. down there. I was watching from below there, and Jerry said, "Hey Rob, you know what would be funny? We ought to rib the people, and like we ought to open up the curtain real quick, and when we open it, you have my dick in your mouth, but don't really be sucking it though. See, the people will think you're sucking it, but you're not really sucking it. That's the rib." Something you don't remember or you don't forget, you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't forget that as a 20-year-old trying to get into the business.
Yeah, the people think you're sucking it, you know, but you're not really sucking it. That's going to be the rib. So
That's the rib itself.
what do you think? Yeah, it's like, nah, I think I'm good, bro.
I'm all right, Jerry. That's fine.
Maybe get someone else to work that spot with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Go get Bill Dundee or somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday. Happy
Because we
birthday
had
to
Bill Dundee, Tony Whiteboy, Dirty Anthony, Tex Schlesinger, Shanghai Pierce were there. You know, I worked with them later in WCW.
They were the Godwins, everybody, if you didn't know the Godwins.
Yeah, so they've been around my whole career. And Ron Slinker, who named me Rob Van Dam and got me my job for WCW and named me Robbie V and told me I was going to be a world champion. I stayed with him, sleeping on his floor for a short amount of time in 91 and maybe the beginning of 92, just that crossover, a few months. And also in the apartment there was Tex Schlesinger Midian, because he was Ron Slinker's stepson. So we actually lived together for a short little while.
No shit. I love Midian.
He's so funny.
Dude,
In real life, he's just one of the fun. Yeah, that would be great. Actually,
we gotta get him on. We gotta get him on. I have his info too, so I can, if you want to, I can reach out to him.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Actually, we got
really.
I mean, shit, we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
That older girlfriend that I talk about every once in a while, I stole that from him.
Wait, say that. Tell this one again.
I had a girl that I was seeing. I talk about this a lot. I've only been in like 3 long relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this one, which is awesome. The shitty marriage, and then when I was really young, I was with somebody for several years that was older than me. When I first met her, she was actually dating him. Like, yeah. So, it wasn't really cool of me to not ask him if he was all right with me or whatever. There was actually a little bit of friction there from 1991 that I remember. I don't think he remembers it. At least he said that he didn't when I asked him about it like last year. He was like, "What? No, I don't remember that." And I was like, "That's cool." But he might remember, because I remember saying, like, "I mean, do you care about her?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know. I never thought about it." And I was like, "Oh, fuck. I'm stupid. What did I do?" You know? But I was that young. I would not want to be that young again.
I bet not. Yeah, I know. There's so much stuff too. It's like, oh, it'd be great to be younger in a certain way, but I was so fucking dumb though in a lot of respects. They're like just naive. Yeah.
I will pass, please.
How much credit then would you give somebody like a Ron Slinker to your career and everything when it comes to, you know, kind of getting you some validation? It seems like giving you your name, all that kind of thing. Would you give a lot of credit?
He believed in me. He pointed me in the right direction, gave me a little bit of advice, got me in front of some of the right people, hooked me up with my WCW job with Bill Watts, told me that I was going to be a world champion, that I was better than everybody else, that I was going to be great. And yeah, gave me the name Rob Van Dam. And so I gotta give the guy a lot of credit. Things definitely would have been different without him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. It's like he's kind of just like an unsung hero that you don't really hear too much about, at least like on the mainstream aspect of things. So it's pretty cool that he was a big part of that, getting your opportunities and all that stuff too. So
he also was a bit nuts.
Was he?
Yeah. There's some amazing stories of some stuff that I had to witness at that age that blew my mind away at 20, 21 years old. And a lot of people that know him or knew him because he's no longer around know this crazy side of him. When I got my Luthez award at the Cauliflower Rally Club, like last year, the year before, and I was giving my speech, I was shooting when I looked at Brian Blair, and who else was there from Florida? There was a couple of guys, that were from back in the day when I first moved to Florida. I wish I could think of who it was there now. But I was like, it was Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you motherfuckers could have warned me about Ron Slinker. Like, for real, guys. Like, you could have warned me, and I think I'll just leave it at that. But when I will go into more detail on the right platform. But unsung hero, that one's kind of hard.
Probably.
That one's hard for me.
That's a hard one. Okay. All right. So I don't know anything about him really. So it's just from that surface aspect. I was like, wow, he seemed to do a lot for me in certain ways. So, but
he certainly did.
Right. Yes. All right. Well, good to know.
RVD when Rob Van Dam was no longer accepted. He said Robbie V. I was like, that's fucking perfect. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. All right. So there we go, everybody. Happy birthday to Gamer Play Game. Happy birthday. You are in the raffle too, by the way. So good for you. I'll give you 2 actually, since it's your birthday. How's that sound? You get 2. Because it's your birthday. I will type you in right now. Gamer Play Gamer. Okay, there we go. You're in there twice. All right. Next up, thanks for all the super chats, everybody. If you have questions, just drop them on in there. Like Big Reds.
You know what? For sake of conversation, like this is going to weigh on my mind for a long time now. So let me.
Oh, okay.
Let me just give you a little. Here's part of it. Part of who he was. A tiny part of it. He would have flashbacks of the Vietnam War and think that he's being attacked like at any time. Yeah.
Whoa.
And the memories that he told me he would relive. Wow.
Wild, huh?
Wow. Like straight up murdering villages, houses with families watching TV in them.
Oh my God. Yeah, you hear some real rough stuff about Vietnam,
Yeah, but that's just part of it. But I just, just for the interest of conversation and for people listening that appreciate getting insight, especially when it's something you haven't heard anything about before. There you go. Yeah. More in the book. More when the book comes out.
More when, Stay tuned. Stay tuned, everybody.
I've been saying that for 15 years.
It's all right.
Had it for 40 so far.
Big Reds 7997. Thanks for the $10. You get 2 entries for that, baby. Apologies if Rob's went in depth on this, but looking back at TNA run, how does Rob feel on that? Match with Styles with Flair being thrown out. Such a great match in the history of RVD. He really liked your AJ Styles match and with Flair getting involved too. So overall, how do you assess your TNA run?
Well, I was there twice, so you got to specify which run because I was there from 2010 to sometime in 2012 or 13. My 3-year contract ran out. And then I went back in 2020 or 21 and wasn't under any kind of contract, but was there for quite a run, kept and obviously with AJ and Flair, that was the first run. You know what was really cool about it? It was an alternative. Like after feeling, I mean, very grateful for being in WWE every week, being on their TV, part of their machine. That was so awesome. You know, like they put you in front of so many people. Nobody else can do that.
Right.
And it's great for business. But regardless of that, I got to a point where I was burnout, and my nonstop travel was monotonous because I didn't have the passion needed to continue. It's not a job you can fake. And I was down on what they did to ECW and what was happening overall. You know, Sabu was gone. And anyway, I needed a break. They tried very hard to keep me from taking a break. Johnny kept wanting me to sign. It says, I'll be back in a month, or I'll be back in 3 months. I'll be back in 6 months. You know, let's negotiate. What if we do this? He even said, you want me to put you in a movie? Okay, how about I put you in a movie? Will you stay then? And anyway, I had to take a break. And that's regardless of how awesome it was being there. But then I never recovered enough to be able to be back on that grind and feel healthy at the same time. But when this alternative comes up, and now it's like, what? TNA is they're actually paying people so we can continue our career, and they're hiring like former WWE guys. They're trying to build their image up with names. And then when I went there in 2010, they were going live against WWE for a short little period of time there. You know, they got rid of the 6-sided ring, got the 4-sided. They're going live on whatever night, I guess Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, we do Monday live. Tuesday, we would record the next week's show.
Yeah.
And then I'd go home Wednesday. So I only work 2 days every 2 weeks.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, because I was getting paid similar to what I was getting paid when I was on the grind, you know, which was 4 or 5 days every single week. So yeah, it was the best business-wise, the easiest money for the least amount of work. So I loved that. AJ, of course, he is phenomenal. You know, I liked him right away and knew that he was really good, but I was already at a point in my career where I felt like a veteran,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel like I should be subpar to all these younger guys. And it felt like when I was working with them, it felt very much like that to me. It felt like they didn't necessarily, like, they had the respect, I guess, for me being RVD. But when you have a match with someone and they want to get all their shit in and look good, doing everything against you, it can come across as if, like, do they know, you know, like, I'm a legend? Like, what? Why am I going to sell all of these guys? You know, he's going to take me to the top rope and powerbomb me through it. Fuck no, you ain't going to do that to me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's partially ego, but it's also partially business. And I felt that vibe a lot when I was there. I felt like, okay, I wasn't in the Hall of Fame yet, but I was RVD. I was a legend. I've been wrestling forever. So then it's my job to go against all these guys that I didn't feel like a lot of them had star power, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to name anybody, but I'm just saying, like, when you look at who they were pushing, and then you think fans outside of TNA, do they know who Kenny Kingston and the Homicide, those guys who all, I mean, not that I worked with Homicide, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of their characters were in-house characters, in my opinion, that hadn't been seen outside. And I felt like for me to come in and then be either putting them over or going neck and neck with them, you know, to get what I can out of them, felt like a misuse of what you could be doing with someone like RVD. If you really wanted RVD to get over strong, you book them strong. But anyway, I never really got a lot of advice or info or even talk to, people kind of let me do what I wanted to do more than in ECW. And people in ECW think everything was a free for all, which it wasn't. But in TNA, I felt like a lot of the people at play didn't want to insult me by even saying anything. If they had a critique or if they wanted to carry on what somebody else said about something they saw or something they want me to do or whatever, it felt more like I was almost like just there and didn't know which way I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do. And so I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed a lot of it, but it never grew. It was always 900 to 1,100 people at every house show the whole time I was there for 3 years. It didn't seem like they cared. It seemed like they were getting their funding somehow in a manner that didn't involve selling tickets to watch from the stands, because they were always rumored to close down every week. They were going to be closed up, but they never did. And they laughed all the way to the bank the whole time. And it used to be, well, Panda Energy is they're paying for it because Dixie's dad, so that's where they're getting it from, and this and that. But here they are still. Have they even missed a show? Not that I know of. And they still seem to do things a lot the same way that they did. The difference would be that forbidden door. Now, I think with the forbidden door being open, I think now it raises the stakes. It makes the star power, even at a TNA show, stronger, because as a fan, if I see somebody there that I think is really standing out, that's really good on that card, I might be able to watch him go right to WWE from there.
Right. Well, I think you make a great point though too, because I remember you getting brought in and the excitement that you were being there too, and you were in the world title picture, and then you had other legacy stars too at that point in time, Hogan was there, and Scott Hall, Kevin Nash were there, Booker T, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Sting. What a list of names, and it's just no offense to some of the up and comers in the TNA at that time, but it was just they're going toe to toe with some of these guys, and it's not really lining up. And sure, you want to build and create new stars, but you have to do it in the right manner that makes it make sense. And sometimes it felt like a lot of those guys, I remember AJ being paired with Ric Flair, and he was almost like a carbon copy of Ric Flair, and it did not fit who AJ Styles was necessarily. Or Abyss was Hogan's guy, and it was I like Abyss, but him and Hogan together doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I don't think. And it's just if you put them in the right manner, it would make a lot more sense. But you almost have to slow build it when you have all these major stars in the same time too, like an Angle and an RVD. It's let's see Angle and RVD go at it and have a hell of a match and stuff like that, Yeah. And then, but then build AJ towards that. Tell the story where AJ gets to that point in time or something. I think stuff like that would make a lot more sense. But even from a structural standpoint too, TNA just had its missteps, like you were saying. It's just this money's coming in, but it's set to, this bubble's going to burst at any moment, it feels too, at the same time.
But I will say when I first came in, it was a really strong push, like I was saying, this is how you could push RVD. When Bischoff was there, that's what he was doing, and one night I wrestled Jeff Hardy, beat him, and then wrestled AJ Styles, beat him, and then became the heavyweight champion. And by the way, before the AJ Styles match, just like before my first match with Jerry Lynn, when Paul and Sabu said, go real short, 8 minutes, don't, this shouldn't be that long. I was like, nah, fuck that. With AJ, Bischoff said that he wanted me to just, that I should just kick his ass and pin him real quick.
Wow.
I didn't want to do that, obviously.
No, it was good that you went toe to toe with him.
But it was important to Bischoff that I do my finish, do the frog splash, and pin him 1, 2, 3 instead of trying to think of anything creative to not be as strong as getting beat with a finish. You know what I mean? So that is how it started. And then I don't remember what happened, but then, you know, the office was doing like a merry-go-round of people in charge, you know. Next thing you know, I mean, it's Bischoff and it's Hogan, and then next thing you know, it's Vince Russo, and then it's Bruce Pritchard, and then, you know, D'Lo. Like, what? So I don't know. But
yeah,
but it did start strong, I gotta say.
Yeah,
And even
yeah.
coming in and beating Sting, I was supposed to beat Sting like really quick too. I made it longer, and Hulk made it longer too by Sting hitting me 80 times with the baseball bat. But it was ideally it was gonna be, you know, like just come in, you know, boom, one kick, beat him. He hits me one time, we're done, and that would have also been real strong. So you can see where their mindset was when I first got there, and when they were pushing, we got the whole effing show RVD here. Boom, let's do this. Because Hogan was saying in interviews, if I had RVD, I'd build the whole company around him. So I was like, fucking sweet, man. This is gonna be great. And then I don't really remember what happened, but when I think about my memory and what it was like, what it felt like for me being there for that whole 3-year run, a lot of it felt like I was working with newer, younger guys from the next generation, and I would rather be working with my own guys from my own generation. That's the way it stands out in my mind, though.
Yeah, because it did. You were putting there pretty darn hot with the world title run and all that stuff. But then after the fact, it's just like, all right, well, what's next? And you know, you have these names in TNA that are established in TNA, but it's like, why is RVD going up against these guys instead of, you know, the main event mafia, or so to speak?
I mean, like I mean, like their favorite guys, you know, like Sammy, they love Sammy, you know, but he's doing his whole career there, though. You know what I mean? Like that's
for sure.
A lot of guys pick that, and they're like, I don't want to have to go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on TV, I'm making a good living, I love it here, and I get that. But also, if you get a chance to go to WWE, I would recommend you have to take it. It does so much more that you didn't realize it was going to. And Sammy did go up there for a minute. I don't know how long he was up there, but anyway, I was just using his as an example of like their favorite TNA guys that are kind of like the in-house push
roster.
Talent.
Yeah.
So that's not the same thing as having like WWE legends and shit like that. So, you know, different agenda, right?
And by Sammy too, you mean Sammy Callahan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He went to WWE only for a short amount of time. He was in NXT for a little bit, and they changed his name to Solomon Crow, and he was there for maybe like a year, and that was it. Yep.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then he was out of there. So
fun little trivia question for you. Who had Sammy's last match before he left the Indies to go up to WWE?
His last match in the Indies? I was gonna say you, but I'll just say Sabu. Sabu?
No, you would have been right. It was me.
It was you? Dang it.
And the thing was, it was big news that he was going up there. Like, everybody was so excited for him, behind him. Like, fuck yeah, Sammy, you deserve this. You're a great worker. You're gonna fucking take off. We're so proud of you. That's what I felt, the vibe from the crowd, the other wrestlers, you know, at those indie shows and stuff. Like, they were really stoked. And he and I were going to wrestle. It was going to be his last match before, you know, his farewell match or whatever. And then, like, right before that match, boom, it got announced that I was going back to WWE. And so I felt like I was like stealing his thunder, kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know though, because he was the name. I remember, like, I was not familiar with Sammy Callahan at that point in time. But then I was like, oh, this Sammy Callahan person, he's supposed to be a good name, and he's going to WWE. And I was like, oh, interesting. And I was like, and then they changed his name to Solomon Crow. And I was like, okay, so they must have some faith in him that he's going to do something here. And like, he was an interesting name in NXT, but then they didn't. I don't know what exactly happened, but it just didn't work out. And then
I told him, like, I had that match with him. It's not CZW. It had a C in it. I don't know what the fuck it was. Somewhere up there in Syracuse, New York. This group. And anyway, doesn't really matter. Put 3 letters together with some wrestling show, but
something.
yeah, but I was telling Sammy though at that show, I was like, bro, you're gonna hate the way they're gonna change you up there. And I was like, I don't want to ruin your night and tear apart right now, you know, like, but all this, it doesn't make sense up there, and they're gonna take that from you, and they're going to teach you to slow it down, to do less, but to make it mean more. And you're going to see, like, the way that this is and what you want to do here tonight, like, bro, like, it's just be prepared. And of course he said I was exactly right, because I knew, I wasn't guessing, you know.
Yeah, right. Did Sammy back then, because like when I would watch him later on in TNA, he would always like be spitting and doing like the paper cut spots and all that kind of stuff. Was he doing any of that with you or anything like that?
I don't know. I just had the one match with him, and I don't think I knew who he was before that night. You know what I mean?
Okay. I thought there was maybe some more familiar, because I remember like he would always do that stuff in TNA, like the paper cut stuff, and I'm like, I can't watch this. I can't watch it. And it was just like,
I remember him and Brian Cage, like when they had a match, and they did crazy shit, like power bombing each other on the metal steps, and like just like how are you trying to get hurt? And both of them taking the craziest fucking bumps.
Man, Sammy took some wild shit. He did some wild shit, but he also took some wild stuff too. But it's funny you talk about that, like too, how like they're warning him like they're completely going to change your style and slow it down. I remember that was the big knock against Seth Rollins initially too, him going in there as Tyler Black.
Everybody goes through it. Everybody does. It's a different style, and you kick and scream because the artist inside of you says they can't keep up with me, so they're telling me to slow down. That's bullshit. They should be faster. But eventually you realize that what they're teaching you is a way to connect with the crowd more, and then you're gonna grow and make more money. And so and the mainstream is always going to react more to that than the way that the artist inside of you wanted to do it. Like, that's okay for the backyard or for maybe the deathmatch show or you know, even a smaller indie show, whatever. But when it comes to the big giant stage, you're talking about the majority of basic thinkers, and they're going to relate to the mainstream style the most. So when you look at it that way, it really is something that you owe it to yourself to learn and to adapt when necessary.
So overall then, I mean, it's kind of a dumb question, but I'll ask it anyway. Overall then, you being an ECW, being the star that you were, and like really, you know, sowing your oats down there and everything like that, and then going to WWE, overall, that made you a better wrestler, would you say, or performer?
Definitely. I had no question about it. And when I watch my ECW matches, not that I do a lot, but, you know, if I see one, sometimes I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I just took a pile driver, and now I'm back up on my feet. Like, nothing fucking happened to me like 30 seconds later. Like, there's shit like that just doesn't make sense once you understand like the whole picture, and you're really committed to what you're going through and living it, making it real. It's like there's a lot of shit like that, a lot of no selling back then, or not selling enough, you know, sell for a little bit and then forget about it. And now it's like, you know, if I got DDT'd, I'm holding my neck through the rest of the match all the way back to the dressing room, you know, if I took a good enough bump. So it's not like a video game where you can just like pop up, you know, and forget about all the damage that was done to me before, you know. Even and when you can learn to sell through your comeback in a progressive fashion where you're, you know, where you're getting like more and more and you're able to suck it up and you're able to move and you're inspiring yourself, you know, because you know, you're getting all the energy up and the fans are with you because you've been hurt and limping and your back's broke and whatever, but all of a sudden, like, boom, you know, like, shit, this is working, fuck yeah, you get fired up. Now you can even hit the ropes, bam, and knock them down. Fuck yeah, you couldn't even like run to the ropes a second ago because you couldn't walk with, you know what I mean? Like you get into where it's like that, but and then the crowd is able to relate more because they picked you up on their shoulders is what they fucking did, you know?
Yeah, and it kind of gives you
and then boom, you go back to whatever was hurting you or whatever because it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing too, I think like slowing the pace of it down, and like I don't know because I've never been in the ring, but I would imagine it's just like slowing the pace of it down kind of gives you more opportunity to play with stuff, like, you know, when it comes to like what you can kind of do to get to that next point or tell that next story going on further in the match and stuff.
You got to know how to do it like without leaving somebody hanging too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's still an appropriate pace for the competition, but slowing down what you're doing and making it mean more, having more, what's the fucking, I blanked on this word last week too. Explosive. Like there's people wrestlers that I see that their shit looks weak, right? And they're like bam, 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 bam. And they did way too much because it wasn't explosive. If they would have just done one, bam, and it was like really like whoa, and it smacked, and they, you know, then guess what? You're making it mean more, so you can slow the pace down without I don't want to say without doing less because you are, but you're not cutting shit out. You're just doing what's right and what fits, and instead of doing shit that's not explosive, doesn't look good, and probably you suck at and shouldn't be doing anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, the neat thing too is I was watching a little bit of you and Bam Bam today. Like I saw that on social media. I think it was on Instagram actually, and like watching you go up against Bam Bam, and he's like kind of blocking some of your stuff, and then Bam would just take moments where he just like boom, like kind of like lay into you more, and it just looks so crisp and so good. Like it would just like, man, Bam Bam was on like that kind of level of stuff too, and like obviously he was in WWE before that, but then like so, but it was just kind of neat to watch that dynamic of you two together in there. Too,
I missed him. I miss working with him. And of course, anybody that worked with me knew you can send it in. I'm not going to cry about it.
You're right. Absolutely. All right, let's hit some super chats. Guys, if you want to get involved in the raffle, I'll do another announcement here. You get this. The winner, grand prize will be the RVD card. But not only that, you will get the RVD IOU where he'll sign something or get a picture with you. So that'll be with this card. And then 2 other prizes today. Bray Wyatt rookie card. That will be available. And then this Bret Hart, Bryan Danielson duo fantasy matchup card. So that's on tap too. $5 will get you 1 entry, and then it goes up from there. So, but let's take a couple of super chats here. 773 Life is Life. Thanks again for another $2. Rob, will you be in the Midwest anytime soon? I know you got to have some dates coming up, but I don't know about the Midwest.
September 26th, I am in Indiana. I believe it's Indianapolis. Almost positive. Yeah. Indianapolis. Indiana. September 26th. At some kind of convention. Is it Squared Circle? I don't think so.
I know that just happened, didn't it? It feels like that just happened. Not long ago.
Yeah, I wasn't at the last one. But yeah, anyway, I'll be promoting it.
Heck yeah. You didn't. I know. Not WrestleMania. What is it? SummerSlam is going to be in Minneapolis. Does that count as Midwest?
I guess so. I guess it is. You know, I always thought it was weird with Michigan being considered Midwest because you can't go a lot further east without going into the ocean. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
What's over there? Well, you go through Ohio and then Pennsylvania if you go under the lake. And then if Pennsylvania isn't coastal, then it's got to be
Jersey.
Or
Jersey,
whatever.
New York.
Yeah, Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, also hopefully we'll be planning some dispensary visits also to be promoting in when we do that. I want to do that in Battle Creek. I'm stoked about that. One time I had something I was trying to promote, and there was a guy in the newspaper that was going to interview me and tell a story. And I don't know if it was about Headstrong, something I wanted to promote. And anyway, he ended up pulling out at the and the reason that he pulled out and canceled the interview was because he saw a headline. There was a headline somewhere where someone that had interviewed me put this on there for bait, but it said RVD claims to have wrestled 100% of the time while he was high.
What?
Yeah. And so the guy, because of that, he said he didn't want to be to promote that. And it pissed me off, obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I say this all the time, but to anybody watching or listening, I mean, I've been smoking the whole time. Do you notice me even changing a little bit? Because
not at all.
So for me, this is being high.
Yeah. People
think and relate it to their own experiences, So when they think, oh, RVD wrestled high, all I'm saying, and not 100% of the time anyway, obviously, but I'm, for a given amount of time, maybe 100%, but not.
Yeah.
But anyway, people want to think that means that I was like, whoa, dude, check me out, man. Watch this spin kick. Oh, bro. Like they want to think that I'm in some, and I respect weed too much to allow myself to be like that. If I was to giggle like a schoolgirl when I smoked, to me, like I told Maven when he was over here, I said, don't be giggling. That's disrespecting the weed. That's what I told him. He said, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm serious. But anyway, if you want to giggle because you don't smoke that much, that's your right. I'm just saying, for me, no, this is as getting high as I'm going to get. So point being, I want to go back to Battle Creek. I want to find that motherfucker that wouldn't do the story with me. And I want to say, guess what, dude? RVD Cannabis is in your face. I'm getting paid. Talking about turning a negative into a positive, and also just consistently always believing that it was the right thing. The cannabis would have its day. And now that it's a Schedule 3, and now that more Americans are smoking than even drinking alcohol, and now that it's going to be even easier to sell it and to buy it, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time for people like me that were loyal and faithful to weed, and even the previous haters that are the Johnny-come-latelys that are going to be jumping on. There'll still be room for you too, because that's the way life works.
That's how it always works, for sure. Mm-hmm. Now Rob won't be 100% high. He'll be 100% making money in your face, Battle Creek.
Dude, this is going to be really big, and I've talked to them before about doing Kratom in the future and other things, and so the sky's the limit.
Heck yeah, awesome stuff going on. Speaking of Hardcore Hank, thanks for the $5. Took a gummy, cracked a THC soda, and packed a pipe. I'm ready for this episode.
Peter Piper packed a pipe, a pot.
Peppers. So you're in the raffle, Hank? Thanks for the $5.
Peter Piper packed a bowl of purple haze pot.
There we go. Good old Peter Piper.
Anyway, cool, man. We will also have what he's talking about. That's getting really common, as I understand too. Now is drinking your weed to consume it, and Willie Nelson has something now, and he's been promoting it strong. I guess he's doing really well with it, from what I understand. And I saw Joe Rogan talking about it, and it's a cannabis infused drink with no alcohol, but still makes you feel good. And we definitely are going to be getting involved in that game as well.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Willie Nelson, he just had a birthday. I don't know how old he is, but I think he's like 90, isn't he?
How old is he?
Let's figure that out. Willie Nelson. Fun fact, Rob, I think a distant relative of mine is his wife. Let's see. 93 years old. Wow, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. Him and fucking Captain Kirk, huh? They're like, yeah. William Shatner.
Yep.
How about that?
Wow. Okay.
Yes, Rob, his spouse's name is Annie DeAngelo. How about that? Distant relative of mine. From what I'm told. Yeah.
Well, Prince's ex-wife lives in our neighborhood.
What? No.
We actually have quite a few celebrities that I'm not going to name. One's a boxer. There's actually a ring in the yard.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Really close. Yeah. Just like when I was a kid and got the yeah. But this guy's someone that you all know.
Oh, wow. You should just go in there and do a couple rounds.
Yeah, Katie said something about he needs to know you're here. You guys need to work out. But something about Willie Nelson or being 93. Oh, I guess I was just thinking with him being 93, that's a pretty good spokesperson for cannabis as strongly as he has been. You know what I mean? Like I always say, people assume, well, it can't be healthy. Smoking can't be good for your lungs. But at the same time, you can't find anything that links it to lung damage. And you got people like Willie Nelson, Michael Phelps, RVD. I've told you, in fact, I could show you. I've gotten my lungs scanned twice in the last 5 years, not because I had any problems with it, but for just to keep up with fitness and physicals and whatever. And anyway, I'm not surprised to know that my lungs are healthy and there's no discoloration, no inflammation, no abnormalities, no sign of any smoke damage. And a lot of people would be surprised. Why? Because I'm what you would call a long-term cannabis user, because I've smoked since I was 21. So that's over 30 years.
Dang.
That's a long time. And like if we start looking at it and studying it, you're going to find that studies have already shown long ago that that cannabis expands your alveoli, or however you pronounce it, a little in your little air pockets in your lungs. And the first guy to tell me this, by the way, was Mark Emery, the Prince of Pot, who the United States wanted Canada to expedite because he sent seeds across to the States, massive amounts. It was his goal to flood the world with pot so that they couldn't eradicate it. And anyway, Look him up, Mark Emery. But we all met him on a WWE trip in 2001, and he was passing this bong around to us, and he was telling us that when you inhale, that you stretch out your lungs in a way that most people don't do throughout the day. Michael Phelps does because he swims and has so much breath. But that when you do that, he told us that the THC actually goes into pockets and crevices in your alveoli. Alexa, how do you pronounce that word in your lungs? Alveoli, airbags?
Are you asking about alveoli, the tiny air sacs in your lungs?
Oh, I'm saying it right. I thought
Would you like me to explain what they
alveoli.
do, or were you looking for something else?
I thought that I was wrong. I would have bet against me on that. Anyway,
nice.
He said that the THC scoops in impurities and cleans out pockets, crevices, corners in there that where it can build up where it's not reached. And so for that matter, that it was actually healthy to hit the damn bong. And that was like in 2001. And I've learned that there's been studies, like I've told you since then about it expanding your lungs. And anyway, don't be surprised when that's finally an accepted truth, just like everything else.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that's neat to know though too, because it's like this smoking, how that kind of helps you. And you were earlier on, you were saying like nobody's died from smoking weed, but people get alcohol or anything like the drugs or anything to that effect.
Obesity, alcohol.
Obesity. Oh yeah, jeez, that's the biggest issue. Like speaking is the obesity problem too. That's a huge issue.
You can get shot, trying to steal someone's weed, but it doesn't cause enough toxicity. It doesn't contain it enough to cause fatality. It would take a ridiculous amount, like smoking 4 pounds in like 20 minutes or something like that. That is definitely not an exact number, but something crazy like that, which nobody would ever be able to do. And yet, they've had it categorized for 56 years as a most dangerous, harmful drug to your health. So that's all going to turn around now, because that was all done for the wrong reasons. That was all done for propaganda. It was all just
politics and money,
misinformation campaigns, so that the big conglomerate businesses wouldn't have to give in to the competition, because you could do so much with the plant. And if you're wondering what the difference is between hemp and marijuana, it's the same thing anyway. You can grow hemp without having the THC on it, and then it's not going to get you high. And a lot of CBD comes from hemp, but like as Jack Harrer used to tell me, it's the same plant. When you talk about one, you can talk about them both collectively when you say there's 5,000 uses that you can use the plant for, and we're gonna probably moving forward be educated a little bit more on that.
Right. It's gonna be more like it's become more acceptable and stuff and social norms. So it's a good thing. Good thing for sure. Robert Rippeth, he can't do a super chat for some reason, but he does say this: I cannot get my payment worked for super chat. If Rob gets the time, was wondering if he'd had any interesting experiences with special effects makeup. I am a special effects artist and a fan of RVD for over 30 years. That's right. I forgot you did that, Robert. But any special effects experiences, Rob?
Look at that guy.
Ooh, look at that guy right there. How about that?
This was a cast of my face made to make a mask for Black Mask 2. And so I had this big brain. I was supposed to be half crab from that family anyway, my monster version. And I had like this big old fucking brain and big head. And it was something that kept gluing to me. And I had like layers of clothes and a cape and gloves and full pants and long sleeve, and I was sweating my balls off. It was so hot in Bangkok, Thailand, so humid and fucking 100 degrees, and I just kept sweating, and that thing kept falling off, and they had to keep putting it back on. And it looked ridiculous. And when you watch the movie, it looks ridiculous. You can see it like a big line drawn, like, you know, right here, like where it had been falling off. And I was doing like a nip up and leg sweep and roll and doing all this shit with it on. But it was, they made that, as you know, with special effects, they put all that, I want to say tape, but whatever the material is.
I know what you're talking about. Is it what's the fucking name of that shit that they put on you?
Machete? No, fucking
no. Well, there's paper mache, but I think there's something else that we did. I had makeup class in college, and I'm trying to remember what that was called. I can't remember the name of it. Shit.
So, but they gave me that. In the end, I got to keep that, and it's a pretty cool conversation piece, if nothing else. So that's what I think of when it comes to special effects. It was some place in Hollywood, even though the movie was in Thailand, and it was me and Tyler Main.
Yeah.
What was his monster? I think he became a praying mantis. I think I was a crab. He was a praying mantis, I think. And there was a wolf, which at first was Tiny Lister, and then he walked off the set and got replaced. And you can still hear his voice on it, even though he's not in it.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah. Funny, crazy movie that I never understood the whole time I was there. And, you know, I'm not surprised they didn't send me an Academy Award for that one.
maybe a Razzie. They give you a Razzie. One of those.
I was always asking the more experienced actors advice and questions because I was like lost, and it was like French script writers, and then two different versions of Chinese crews. One was the fight crew, which was Cantonese, and then there was another crew that was the directorial crew, and that was Mandarin. So everyone spoke all these different languages, and there was like so much missing in communication. And people like Tyler and Andrew Bernarski, he was a lizard. Here, lizard. See how that came around?
Hey, look at that.
Yeah. Those guys kind of just grabbed the ball and ran with it. Like they didn't need that much direction. They read the script and envisioned what they were going to do and committed to it and whatever. And a lot of times I was lost. I got to tell you, I've never been as lost on a movie as I was during that. You know,
well, it sounds like a pretty easy movie to get lost in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fault you too much for that one, I don't think.
And I killed my knee on set, and I knew that I fucked up. I knew I'd never hurt my knee this bad before, but I didn't want them to know. And I slammed it into the cement, trying to run up the wall and do a backflip for the guy. The guy fucking made The Matrix, you know, Wu Ping. He's like a legend. And he's like, can you go up the wall and do a backflip? Oh, sure, no problem. And fucking no, I didn't make it. And I slammed my knee on the cement. And I was like, oh, wait, let me try again. And no, that's okay. And I was like, thank God, because ouch, that fucking hurt. And I actually tore my ACL, and it would just get worse and worse for the next 4 years until finally in 2005, it actually broke all the way through in a match, Rey Mysterio and RVD versus the Basham brothers. And it actually snapped, and then I was helpless, had to go have surgery. But it hurt. I heard it there, and then it got infected and blew up, and I was getting it drained in my hotel room. But I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want it to affect my job. I just treated it just like wrestling, you know, like, hey, if I can work, I'm not hurt. But in the meantime, I was limited, and it felt limited, even though I wouldn't tell them, because I had to do something, where I had to keep jumping down from somewhere high and landing, and I was just like, that's fucking awesome.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a tough one to go with, man. But that's the wrestler mentality, though, too. It's just like, you're like, oh, I'll power through it.
Yeah, but also the special effects guys that were on the set were pretty cool. We hung out with them, and I think that's gonna be my special effects story.
Well, good stuff. Dang, Robert, you got your bang for your buck on that one there. How about that? He did end up getting a super chat in too, actually. So thanks, Robert. $10. I think he just asked the same thing. Okay, so we answered it. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, you did add, can't wait to see new Night of the Living Dead. Fan for over 30 years. So sweet. You're in the raffle for two, Robert. So thanks for their contribution on there. Let me make sure I got you in there.
We're supposed to do a movie premiere in LA, in Hollywood, for that movie, Night of the Living Dead. May 9th. No, June 9th. Sorry.
June 9th. Okay.
Yep. And big Hollywood premiere. So just, FYI, if you live in LA or near it, or I don't know if it's open to the public, there's a lot of seats in the theater, so whatever, but just something you might hear more talk of in the next coming weeks.
Coming up soon enough, starring RVD, Vivica A. Fox. I know there's a couple other names in there too, but those are the two I know for sure are those two. A wrestling historian, thanks for the Canadian $5. You're in the raffle, eh? What do you think of your song Fury of the Storm, and how come you never came out to it for an entrance? Thanks in advance.
I like it now, but I didn't give it a chance when I first came in because I wanted Walk, and I didn't understand why they weren't just playing Walk, because I thought that Paul owned the rights to it, because we had paid a cover band to redo Walk for the ECW album. So I thought that means that we have the rights to do it, and we don't have to have Pantera if they don't want to pay, which no problem. But we have the cover band. I'm blanking on their name right now.
I'm trying to think of what it was too. Wrestling historian, if you know offhand, type it in the chat, but I will look it up real quick.
I know if I go through the alphabet, I'll get it. Now I won't. Not Pantera.
ECW cover. Try to see that. Kilgore.
Okay. Fuck. I was nowhere near that. I was in the R's and S's. All right. So I thought, okay, well, we own the Kilgore version of Walk. What the fuck? Can't we just play that? Because people connect me to Walk at that time. I felt like it was a pretty strong part of my performance, let's say. So I talked to Shano about it, and I said, what the fuck? Like, how come we don't have Walk? And he's like, you don't like this music? And I was like, I mean, it's just not Walk, never gave it the chance. And I do kind of regret that, because when I hear it now, I do like it. But at the time, I said, what the fuck? And Shano said, give me a week, because I told him, Kilgore, Paul we got the rights. You own ECW now, so you own it. We have it in your library. Boom, boom, boom. Next week, when I saw him, he called me out to the production truck. So, come out here. And I went out there to the production truck, and he said, play the tape. And they played, and it was Breaking Point, One of a Kind.
Yeah.
And I was confused, though. I'm like, what happened to Walk? And he's like, you don't like it? And I said, no, I just don't. I don't understand. And he said, these people wrote this song for you. Like, it's They made this song. I think it's fucking kick ass. Like we want to go with that. We just need you to be okay with it. And you know, I was dumbfounded and like, okay. I don't really remember saying okay. I don't remember ever understanding what the deal was with Walk, but I knew that ship had sailed. I understood that. And when I did the music video with the guys that did Walk, no, I'm sorry, One of a Kind, Breaking Point, they told me that they wrote that song specifically for me, because I always wonder how that shit comes together. I'm not a musical artist, and I figure maybe they had something 80% written, and then they just said, hey, we can kind of tailor this, you know, put in some kicks or some shit, you know, because were you thinking of me really when you said when I see that look in your eye makes me believe you're one of a kind, fear I see in the back of your mind? You know what I mean? Like those are all like, did I inspire those, or is that something you already had? I always wonder that about songs, like when there's lines like that, you know. But they told me that they wrote it for me, and then I felt like I really had to own it more, which by that point, I'm already doing the video. I've already agreed to it. And by the way, when I did the video, I was feeling like shit. I was run down from being on the road, had no immune system. I needed sleep, and they wanted me to go fly to wherever we did the video. And Kevin Dunn said, I'll consider it a personal favor to me, because I told the guy, you know, you could do that. So they got a private airplane just for RVD. Nobody else was on it, to fly me from wherever, Boston to Washington or wherever the fuck it was. I remember shaking because I was freezing laying on that airplane, and I could just feel myself getting sick. And anyway, did the video, came back, and to pay me back for doing the favor, they gave me a little bonus. I got to wear a Lugs t-shirt out to the ring. Lugs was a sponsor at that time in 2001 that you would see sometimes on the WWE ring or whatever. And there was a shirt that said Lugs, and Kevin said, you know, just wear it out to the ring, and you can take, I don't care what you do with it. You can keep it, take it off, throw it in the crowd, whatever the fuck you want with it. Just if you do that, then boom, you get paid for it. And so I got a bonus and got paid for taking the Lugs shirt out to the ring, for doing the Breaking Point video, for asking for Walk, for not listening to Fury.
What a tangled web, but a successful web nonetheless. I liked that first scene though, that Fury wrote, or whatever it is. I think that was, when I first heard it, when you coming out for Jeff Hardy's match and stuff like that, I was like, damn, that's a good tune. But all your tunes are banging though.
My apologies to whoever created that and feels like they missed out by not having that play throughout RVD's WWE career, because I really did not give it a chance at all, just because I wasn't in the market for a new song. I didn't think, you know. You had Walk on the mind. Yeah, I was confused.
Hey, aren't we all? Therapy, thanks for the $5 super sticker. That gets you in the raffle, but so does your super chat that you posted later on here that I'm getting to right now. Tennessee is making Kratom illegal as of July 1st. I'm going to have to go back to pain management. Uh-oh. Is that true? Tennessee's getting mixed up.
Sucks. You know, there's a few places where it is prohibited. I was thinking that it was already prohibited in Nashville, because I remember looking it up when TNA was doing the tapings, and it was during COVID when there was no crowds, right? We would go to a studio. Nashville, and I would bring Kratom, but I thought when I looked it up, I thought that it was prohibited at the time. It sucks because it's not a controlled substance, yet in local jurisdictions, everyone has a right to set their own rules, all the way down to your own little private house, so that's unfortunately the way it is. You can still get it through the mail, but if you're mailing Kratom to a place where it's not okay to be, then I would think that you're thereby already doing a no-no. If you remember when they busted Tommy Chong and actually sent him to jail, they ordered bongs from his son's glass shop. They ordered bongs and got them delivered to Pennsylvania, where bongs were illegal, and then they arrested Tommy Chong, and he had to do like 9 months in prison so that his son wouldn't do it. And yeah, so you got to be careful about shit like that. Even though Kratom and CBD can be sent from the website to people to place orders and shit, whoever is sending the orders has to have that in mind and know that they can't mail it to certain places.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, man, it's crazy though. And like I was just talking to somebody on the phone about Kratom, and like there's a place called Bantha Tea Bar that's in Pittsburgh here that I go to all the time. I do writing and all my shit over there, and like they have like Kratom options that you can drink and stuff like that, and it's just like right there, and people love it. It's like, and like what we've been doing with Happy Hippo and stuff, I love it. I love the gummies and stuff like that. I haven't tried the powder yet, but I'm gonna, because I like it. It's a definitely different vibe, like for me, than smoking for sure. So stay away from the 7-0 hydroxys. That's what I heard. Those are bad, right? Or
they're just way too strong for you.
Yeah.
For someone that really has a tolerance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll be careful.
Yeah, but let's. Barbie's snoring beside me. I didn't even know she was beside me. Chicks were all hanging out, and I didn't even know she was here.
That's it. All right, we got a few more super chats, and then we'll close this baby out. Let's see. So Pittsburgh Bad asked this.
I was going to say this, by the way. There's several here too, but I've been asked before if I had any interest in putting my name on some kava bars in Florida, and they said in Florida they're really popular because they don't have as many choices, I think, in Florida, to be intoxicated, and if you want an alternative, there's you're not looking at as many as like Sin City, but anyway, that's what they do is they have Kratom drinks and Kratom teas. They call the whole thing kava bars, is my understanding, even though I believe it's not about the kava, it's about the Kratom.
Yeah. And the person I was talking to on the phone, actually the guy Katie connected me with, I was talking to him on the phone about that. And he said how much like the regulations and all that kind of stuff gets in the way, and like all the mumbo jumbo that they have to go through and everything. It sounds very frustrating. Sounds very frustrating. We have Jem the Dawn, member for 3 months. Hey, if you're a member and you get a membership chat, that'll get you in the raffle too. Jem, I already added you for this, so you're already in the raffle. He says, "Did you like wrestling Too Cold Scorpio? Grateful for RVDology. It really helped me through some tough times this week and not overthinking." Great stuff. Awesome. TWFS forever.
You know what that stands for?
The whole fucking show forever.
There you go. Better believe it. Better believe it, Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy. I got to get in touch with Fonzie too. Dang it.
Yeah, well, great. Great to know. I have a bunch of shit I always think about doing, but then I don't actually do it, or I write a list and slowly do it. But I was wanting to put some new RVDology episodes up just because there's those ones that I originally did. They were like one-offs, telling stories and shit, and just getting a collection of them in my head. And And yeah, I love knowing that that people get something out of it besides just thinking that I'm absolutely crazy for being one of a kind. I love wrestling Too Cold Scorpio. I still do. I hope you do. The last time I wrestled him was for Bad Business Bobby in Ohio, maybe 2 years ago. Like I think it was the match before I wrestled. Before I wrestled Matt. What stoner?
Matt Riddle.
Yeah, thank you, Matt Riddle. Yep. Yeah, I must be getting tired. I'm starting to lose the end. Anyway, yeah, I wrestled him last time, Matt Riddle, but before that, I wrestled Scorpio and in a three-way. Also, what's dude's name? He's and if you don't like that, something like that, little dude, you know what I'm talking about. He got fired, then he like came back in the crowd like on his own.
Oh, Enzo.
How
you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, sorry, Enzo. What is it that he says? If you don't like that or something.
How you doing? I'm trying to think. Oh my God. Oh, and you can't teach that. You can't teach that.
Got it before you. I get credit for it. Anyway.
Dang it.
Anyway, three-way with Scorpio and him. And it was funny because beforehand, every time Enzo would want to say something, Scorpio would just ignore him and just talk to me. What do you want to do, Rob? You know, and he'd be like, hey, you know, what would be great? I was thinking about, you know, blah, blah, and blah, blah. And Scorpio would just be like, what you thinking, Rob? You know what? Yeah, you know, and he would just totally like ignore him, almost like he was ribbing him, but he wasn't. He was just treating him like he was like a young kid and like we were veterans. And it was just funny, you know, like everything that he went to say. And eventually he just kind of like laughed. It was like, all right, I'll come back and talk to you guys later.
That's funny.
I like Enzo.
I do too. I like him a lot. He's a good dude. And he's funny. I've interviewed him several times and he's just like, boom, 30 minutes goes by like that. It's crazy.
Nice.
Pittsburgh Bad, he says, what's the raffle? I'm late to the show. Just so you know, the raffle is RVD card. You get an RVD IOU with that. Can't teach that. Can't teach that. Bray Wyatt rookie card. That's on tap. And then Bret Hart, Bryan Danielson card. Those are all on the raffle. And $5 will get you in. And Maddie, I'm going to put you in for three total.
I hope you do.
Maddie's been dropping some super chats left and right here. So Maddie, you're in there for 3. And he asked you this, Rob. Warrior Hogan, who did you befriend first, brother? Who was the first one you did? You became friends with more.
Huh.
It's a good question, Maddie.
That is a good question because I don't know, because when I want to know like what year Hulk Hogan's Championship Celebrity Wrestling was on, and when did I meet Hulk Hogan? You know, like I guess just met him like at WWE shows. It's gonna be Hulk, you know, just at random WWE shows. Nick would be with him, and sometimes Nick would have weed. And thinking back, Nick was way too young for me to be smoking with. But some reason, I think just because of who he was, I think I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I definitely wouldn't have done that once I started getting responsible. But yeah, because he was, but anyway, I would smoke with Nick, and yeah, but wait, he was hanging out with Chris Masters too. How old was he? He must have been.
What year was it? If this was like 2008, maybe, because that was when Hogan's Championship Celebrity Wrestling was going on.
Okay, there's something.
Let's see how old Nick Hogan is. Nick Hogan, how old are you, brother?
Yeah, but I'm guessing I probably must have met Hulk just working for WWE, which I started doing under contract in 2001. I don't know if I met him outside of that or before that. I don't remember the exact first time, but I'm guessing it must have been at the arena, like when he was there and I was there, and when me and Nick would like go outside and smoke. And Ultimate Warrior, that's, well, I guess we can find out what year that was too. But that was just befriended him when I picked him up from the airport. And then I went and talked with Chris Nowinski, filmed some RVD TV, went to Jesse Hernandez's school of Hard Knocks, maybe, or I think it was called. I wonder what year that was, though. It's hard to.
That was 2012-ish?
I don't know. In 2012, I know my contract's running out in TNA. Was the when we were working for Rikishi's group, I think that's what led to Orlando Jordan and Ultimate Warrior wrestling each other. I think that was on the Rikishi shows. I used to see Orlando on Rikishi's shows that he would do in Italy and Spain. And
when you did the Warrior face paint on you, that was back in 2008. Tomorrow. It's May 14th, 2008 is when you posted that on your channel.
Okay.
So how about that? So 2008.
Not necessarily when I posted it anyway, but okay.
Yeah,
so I probably became friends with Hulk between 2001 and 2005. Not super good friends where I'd like be at his house or whatever, but talk to him and joke around with him and get high with his underage child. I think I did. I don't know how old he was, or how long I've been doing that, because I know Nick. I remember I've known Nick since he was 14, and
yeah.
I hope I wasn't smoking with him anywhere around those years.
Nick's in good shape, by the way. I just saw a picture of him on Instagram. He's in good shape. I think he's having a beach party. Nash is going to be at the Hogan's beach party, or the beach house, or whatever, or the bar. It's pretty nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hogan's hangout.
Hogan's hangout. That's it.
Yeah, Nick's looking good, and I know that he would love to wrestle if he got an opportunity to where,
really?
He was. Yeah, I see it in him and all the time and hear from him, but like when he answers questions with interviews and stuff, I always feel like he would do it as long as it was something worth doing, so he didn't look like what he was doing was trash. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's that. Like, man, if somebody booked me, fuck yeah. But okay, not if it's Grandpa's backyard wrestling federation.
You'd want it to be on a good platform.
But for sure, if one of the TV companies wanted to hire him, he'd be stoked.
Yeah. And it's only 35, so it's like, that's not bad at all. You can still get into it at that point. DDP got in at 35. Everybody started wrestling.
And he's been messing around with it a little bit, like years ago he did. So it's not like when he was out here in California and hanging out with Masters, he was. So it's not like he would be just starting to learn everything,
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, he definitely,
it's in his blood, brother. It's in his blood.
Right, but he definitely would have some fucking huge boots to fill,
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt about that, right?
That could be almost discouraging if you look at it the wrong way. Although it'd make people happy, probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think
people at the internet mark community, those guys, assholes, they'd be like, well, he certainly isn't his fucking dad, is he? You know,
Yeah,
give
man,
him
yeah.
that kind of support.
Everybody be, there'd definitely be haters online. That's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
I
fuck
think that
that.
I know the answer to this one here, Rob. Maddie asks, do you still have some foam thumbs? They were cool as fuck. I think you have them in that room. if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you don't know this one.
Oh, no, I don't know that one. Wow.
This one might be a one of a kind. I think this is the one that RF Video was doing, probably ripping me off and selling his own thumbs, just like he used to sell the VHS tapes of my matches and try not to pay me and shit.
Oh,
But
God.
yes, I do. And they're not too far from me, but I have a pair. I collect RVD, so I tend to try to keep like one of everything, except cards. I don't collect cards. I don't have like my video games that I'm on covers of. I don't have them like on display. Maybe I should. The ones that I'm on the cover of anyway. But everything I got, from bobbleheads and action figures to shot glasses and beer mugs and fucking, lighters, like fucking,
Yeah, those are sweet.
like usually phone cards.
Phone cards, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely have definitely got the foam thumbs.
Definitely got them foam thumbs happening. All right, a few more super chats, and then we're ending this baby up. Maddie, member for 10 months. Thank you, Maddie. He says, what the F is TKO doing? Bonus for the office, cuts for the boys. Does WWE need to go back to private? I'm over. Ads in the ring. Ads at Mania. Fuck TKO. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I wonder if, since we know that they want to raise the price on the stock market, I wonder if it's a good time to buy. That's what I'm thinking. I used to have WWE stock, as we all did. It was part of something that they did. I can't remember why. I don't think it was when they went public, but maybe it was. I don't know, but we got stuck. Unfortunately, RVD's WWE stock went in the wind via the divorce. So the Evil X wanted those sold so she could split the money. In addition to trying to get me to go back to WWE and work full time just so I could keep paying her for life, and in the meantime, claiming that I was faking my concussion symptoms when I had double vision in the movie Headstrong. So that's that time period in my life. But anyway, I sure wish I still had those WWE stocks. I wish I could have bought the bitch out and kept them for whatever value they were back then in 2018 or whatever it was. But I don't know. I don't follow it. I just imagine, because that was way before the whole merger and the big, TKO umbrella. It was just, I would imagine that it's people that kept it are probably doing well with it, but I really don't even know. And it looks like they're doing things to, I don't know if this is true either, but to protect the shareholders' interests and to increase the value of that at the expense of talent. It looks like, but I mean, I'm no expert on that shit. But if so, that's what I'm thinking, is maybe I should look into if I can get some stock back. You always think it's too late, but there's never a time as early as right now. So that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, yeah, it sucks for the talent. I always say, don't get too comfortable. Even if you're an in-house talent in TNA that they're pushing to the moon, and you don't want to go anywhere because you're happy making your living right there. Still, don't get too comfortable and feel like there's no way they'd let you go, because there's a way. There's a way.
Well,
It could
that's
happen.
what I kept thinking too when I would be hearing about these people getting cut and people being surprised about it. And I always remember you saying on here that you always thought that like you were never like quote unquote safe, like there was always that chance that you could be let go at any point in time. And I was like, if RVD thinks that, it's just like then somebody else has to be thinking that too, right? It's just so it's an unfortunate aspect of the business, but that's just the name of the game too. At the same time, it's frustrating though. I can certainly understand where Maddie's coming from with some of their creative decisions, if you will. So,
yeah, it's weird because they'll do it right in the middle of plans too. Like when they tell you next week we're going to do this or this, and then boom, oh, guess what? You're not coming next week. So it is frustrating and confusing, but it is part of the thing. Like whenever somebody's like really surprised, you're like, oh my God, can you believe that they let him go? So I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not him? It's someone comes out to me like, dude, they just fucking let me go. It's, my thoughts are, man, that sucks. Sorry, but it's you or me. And
that's it.
I would have fired you over me too.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, so to speak.
But also it's a weird family situation where you can't be too comfortable. You can always get fired and let go, but then you can always come back and later on and do another run, and you can always be, especially if you really are there for a while, or you have relationships with the people in the company there. It's like it's like even if it's just visiting or whatever, it's like weird in the respects that it does feel like family and a lot, but you gotta know the difference, because your family's not gonna fucking kick you out in the cold.
Hopefully, I don't know where. Yeah, I know. Hopefully not. But yeah, that's the business of a publicly traded company. They think of the bottom line first, and you maybe third or second. So, Gamer Play Gamer, thanks for the super sticker, 99 cents. And then thank you for this quote too for $1.99. I gave you an extra raffle for both of those. So there you go. RVD sounds like a cool person to hang out with. He is.
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, I'm with me 24/7, but to be honest, I do get sick of myself sometimes.
That's it. Don't we all? Sick of
sometimes I'd take a break if I could,
Just a little breather, right?
Especially when I think about things like that I talked about and then regret. Like, why was I saying that? Like, I sound like such a I hate when I get talking like I'm a fucking expert on something. Like, dude, like, trust me, I get it. If you want to complain about me, I get it. I do. I complain about me too.
Right. There's so many times I'll go look back at like interactions I've had, and I'll be like, why did I fucking act like that, or why did I say that instead? And
I think it's a good perspective to have. Like I always say, don't be so gay for yourself. Everyone else, because it's like our number one, self-defense mechanism in action is protecting ourself at all costs, and that means our image. That means, our life, whatever. But because of that, it's like so hard for people to admit that they could be wrong, or, fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah, I'm cool. Of course I'm cool, man. Fucking, I got bitches waiting to hang out with me. You kidding me? They got lined up around the block. Bitches waiting to hang out. Well, hey, next bitch, come on in. But reality, I'm always going to be. That's my RVDology. I'm always going to be sharing that perspective of, dude, how about a little humbleness, and if you have to, step out of your own shoes and look at yourself from a third person. There's there's a picture going that I might try and find it. We might have talked about it, but at WrestleCon, I was talking to Fonzie, and there's a picture. No, it's a video on X. And I look like I'm like 8 months pregnant. It's the way I rock a shirt a lot of times. If I don't pull the shirt down, it tends to pull back, and my gut looks huge. And I'm standing there, and I'm talking to Fonzie, and my gut looks huge, and my arms look weird and small, and I think it looks funny. And some of the comments are like, one of the comments was like, "Can someone help RVD find a salad?" And there was another one that said, "Oh my God, RVD really let himself get out of shape." I fucking repost that shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why would you repost that?" You know, and I'm like, "Well, I thought it was hilarious. I laughed at it. I'm hoping, other people get a laugh at it too, even if they really think that I am out of shape. But to me, those people are always funny too, because I know I can get another picture. I took 200 pictures that day or whatever. I know I can get pictures of me with the fans or whatever that day where I look totally different, that are much more flattering. And that would probably not be that hard to do either. And the same time that Joe was working out with me in the sauna, and he said, "I would say you're like in the best condition that you've been in like in the last 10 years. Would you agree?" And it's so funny, like the very next day that I'm like, whoa, RVD let himself get out of shape. But anyway, I'm talking about being humble. I think it's great if people laugh at it, even if some of them do think that. They'll see another picture and they'll think something else. But that I have the uncanny ability to rock a shirt like that. Always have. I remember throughout years, certain pictures like that. There was one at when DDP was doing the screening of the Jake the Snake movie, the resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, we went there. That's, what was weird, when I got up towards the building, when fans came around, one of them came up with a belt, a replica belt, and said, "Oh my God, you're RVD. Can you sign this?" And I looked at him and I grabbed it. I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You David Arquette, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he was like a little kid. He's like, "Thanks." And he grabbed the belt and just like left. And I was like, why didn't he like introduce himself or something? Like, that was like so like, he's acting like a little kid, But anyway, what I was gonna say was we took pictures inside, all of us that were there, and I have the same flattering angle where I'm wearing a shirt and my gut just looks huge out there. And I remember commenting on it. I said, "Geez, when's the baby due?" Because it just looks hilarious. But that's I got a funny shape and a funny posture. And I rock a shirt like that. I gotta constantly like pull the front down in order to not look like that. And so I think it's funny. So enjoy a good laugh at my expense.
That's it.
But
hey, there's
anyone that thinks that I would get out of condition, though, no.
Nope. And you know what, too? It's funny. Like life, there will be times like life humbles you in so many ways. So it's just like, yeah, you can't take yourself and everything too seriously when certain aspects of that come around. There'll be one time I'll be like, "Oh, I feel pretty good about myself," and then something will happen.
Funny. I can remember like throughout the years, like certain times when it probably wearing the exact same shirt. No, but it is the same cut though. Like that's what I wear.
That's the style. That's the RVD style.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right. Maddie has a couple of weed comments here. Indica balances me. RVD explains it the best. I love weed.
Yeah.
Bush versus hydro. I love a good bush or low chem hydro.
Yeah.
That's what he has to say about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that. I mean, you can grow better bud if you're growing it indoors, man. You can, if you're an expert, you can grow like the best fucking clones, and you can be in charge of every fact, like how many hours of light versus hours of darkness, how much water, what nutrients. Like there's so much you can control that you can't control outside if you're just growing a bush. It's easier to just let Mother Nature grow it for you. But you know, if you're going for competition or whatever, you gotta fucking grow it inside.
Oh yeah, I know that's a key component to do. Sure.
Got to. So
That's
that's an easy one, Matt.
an easy
Silly
Matty.
Matty.
Oh my beautiful liar! Thanks for $2. RVD versus Too Cold Scorpio is my favorite match. Well, how about that?
Yeah, I love Scorpio. I hope he's okay with that trouble that he got in with stabbing the guy.
I think he's okay because I saw him after that. I saw him.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I
think
did
he's
too.
all right.
He was telling me his version of it and whatever he was, but yeah, but I haven't seen him like at a lot of wrestling cons and shit like that lately. And I think I saw somewhere that he had a match, though. I think I could be wrong. It could be old, the video that I saw, but I hope so because
He can still go. He was
yeah,
he was in Du Bois, PA, where I'm from, my neighborhood. And
is it really called Dubois?
No, it's Du Bois.
Okay.
I was
Is there a fort there? Fort Du Bois?
no, there isn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
I remembered it from when I was a kid. Fort Duquesne?
Fort Duquesne, you're thinking of. Yeah, that's
That in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, near Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
Yeah. But he wrestled there and he's still very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that guy.
I marked out kind of watching him because that's the first time I really watched him like in person. And I was like, wow, he's amazing. Jim the Don, last 2 super chats here. Thanks for the $5. It's got you another raffle entry. He says, going back to Vegas tomorrow for a wedding. Is there any cool dog-friendly places to visit? Also, Oscars was great last time. Any other suggestions?
Damn, there's a whole bunch of places that are just opening up that I keep seeing advertised on Instagram that I would like to visit, but that I haven't. One thing that I want to do, if you want to get the head start, Jem, and do it, and then let me know how it is. I want to take one of those driverless taxis, and they have a couple of different companies out here that do that. And I've seen some of the cars, but I think that would be cool to go up and down the strip in a taxi that has no driver.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about those actually in Vegas. Yeah,
so
that's pretty neat.
So somewhere to eat. So I mean, Oscars is like a really nice place if you're looking for. Is it called? What the fuck is that called? Not Blue Moon, is it? I was Blue.
Not Fountain Blue, not the Hotel Fountain Blue thing, right?
No, I was thinking of a breakfast place where there's like
I know what you're talking. Yes. Oh my gosh, Blueberry Hill.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's a good spot. That's a great spot. Blueberry Hill is great.
Or I like to go there for breakfast, but of course they have it's like a diner, and they have a bar with alcohol in there too, so that's cool. One of them might not. There's one that's like by a church or something and might not have a bar, but that one's way down, I think, Charleston, which is the longest road in Las Vegas, by the way, Charleston. But yeah, all right, that's 3 things I forgot, so that's my limit.
I suggest Batista's if you've never been to Batista's Hole in the Wall. Yeah, that's right behind. It's right off the strip, like kind of by Flamingo. Yep.
Yeah, I don't even know that I've been in there. But
really?
It's they say that's local beer prices, and the locals go there and to hang out and to eat and stuff. So that's the word on that, is that it's made more for local than tourists, and that makes it extra cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that I have. Yeah, it's hard to just stop. If I haven't been there now, it's hard to like just stop. If I'm on my way somewhere, going to the grocery store or something, and then boom. Oh, I stopped in and had a drink at this place. I just wanted to check it out. But it does happen.
Yeah,
I did do that the other day. There's all these little gambling bar. Not really sure what they call
video poker ones, or when you're at the bar and there's a little video.
Yeah, man, I would love to own one or two of those.
How about that? Yeah, right. Just get something like that cooking, man. Yeah. So there's some suggestions. Bagel Mania is another good spot too. Bagel Mania, that's right by. I can't remember where it is, but check that out too. So there's some suggestions for you, Jim.
And also, the place. You're gonna have to probably help me on this one, but it's right on the strip, across from Circus Circus.
I just stayed at Circus Circus, so
right across the street. It was in the movie Casino.
Oh,
in a bunch of movies actually, but
is it like a diner spot? Kind of like a diner spot?
Kind of like a upper class, like they got a fireplace in there and stuff. But
yeah, I walked by it. What was the name of that spot?
It's like I normally know. My brain's tired. So
yeah, no, I'm like
mystery. Let's see.
I'm gonna Google Maps
Circus.
Let's see, Elvis Presley Boulevard. There's Fountain Blue. Come on, Slots and Fun. I was at that place. Why is it not popping up? It's right. Peppermill? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah. Damn. You know what? I just passed P and I didn't catch it. I was going through the alphabet.
Oh,
yeah. That's another one to suggest to Jem. Check out the Peppermill. Yeah. Also could be breakfast. It could be late night. Could be anytime. It's right on the strip. It's been there as long as I've been coming to Vegas. It's very historical. Everybody has been there.
Super popular too. I remember us walking by it when I was there, and it was like there was people in line waiting. So it's a good spot there, Jim. So that's another good suggestion. All right, last super chat. It's Jeff Meacham. I know Jeff Meacham. He knows you too.
Jeff Meacham?
He says, "Hey, brother. Sorry I didn't make it out for Mania Week. Looking forward to getting out there soon to see you guys. Going to try to tune in here more often." Heck yeah, Jeff. Join on in. It's good to have you.
Dude, yeah, I've gotten your random messages here and there. And if I haven't answered, I'm traveling and not in town when you were or whatever. Good to hear from you, though.
Heck yeah, brother. All right. It's raffle time.
We put some time in tonight, right?
We sure did. Holy smokes. Yeah, 2.5 hours. So, all right. We're going to raffle these babies off. We'll start with the top prize here, RVD, plus an RVD IOU. Anytime you meet RVD, he'll give you an autographed picture. We're tuning into the podcast. All right.
Are you going to spin the RVD wheel?
I'm spinning the RVD wheel. I got to get the screen up here. Let's see if I can do this top screen in this one. We'll do the screen share again. Boom.
I like going to Firefly too. That's a place that we like to eat at. Have always gone there. It's tapas. So you order different things that are separate, like bacon wrapped dates.
Ooh. Wow, that sounds good. Bacon wrapped dates. That sounds really good.
They're really good. And they have interesting food like that.
Oh man, well, okay. I gotta check that one out when I'm back in Vegas too, then, which might be for Cauliflower Alley, actually.
By the way, just to go full circle, the first time I was at a Fireflies, it was actually in the exact location that he went when he said Oscars was good.
Wow, really?
Full circle. Oscars used to be a Firefly years ago. Yep. So
what?
Boom.
How about that? Full circle?
The waiter was a fan, and he was like, please try this. And he wanted me to eat a little fucking octopus. I was like, oh, I'm good. Oh, no, please, you try. You know what? And he really wanted, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings and shit. He was excited I was there, and I put it in my mouth. And it was like, tasted like I had put a quarter in the gumball machine and cranked out the thing, got a little rubber octopus.
Oh.
Like when I was a kid, the one you throw against the wall.
Yeah, and it stuck.
It was like rubber, and I was like, whoa. Can I get some more bacon dates, please?
More bacon dates, please. Like, RVD, you look pregnant. Why you have such a weird shirt on? All right, wheel time. Here we go. First.
Raffle off a trip to the bunny ranch, Tripoli says.
Oh, yeah. So trip to the Bunny Ranch will happen indeed. All right. Here we
Who's
go. I
got the
think all I
hookup?
got to do is hit enter. Click to spin. All right. Boom. All right. Who's going to win the RVD IOU and the RVD card? It's going to be. Oh, it's Maddie. Maddie gets it.
Oh,
All right, Maddie. I'll have to get your Australian information to send this
I
to
like
you.
the efforts in the production, dude.
Hey, boy. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the
All
crowd.
right. Yes. Maddie. So, Maddie, you won the grand prize. Congratulations. You get an RVD IOU. Hopefully, you get to meet RVD someday. And you can get an autograph and picture with him. All right. We'll spin the wheel. Again, this will be for the Bret Hart, Bryan Danielson card coming up here. Who's it going to be? We got the birthday person there. It's Gamer. Play Gamer. Congratulations. You win this Bryan Danielson, Bret Hart card. Give me your information. My email, dpdeangelo@gmail.com, or hit me up on X, whatever. But DM me your information, and I will get this sent out to you. I got to send out all this out. So Gamer Play, congratulations. Final one, Bray Wyatt rookie card. Here we go. Still in the mix here. Final spin of the night. Oh, it's Hardcore Hank. Congrats to you too. All right. So some newcomers win and an established RVD fan, man. Maddie wins one too. So congrats to all you guys. I will get these situated. You send me your information, dpdeangelo@gmail.com. Hit me up. Give me your address information, and we'll get that stuff sent out to you. So, heck yeah. What a show. Barbie is here. He's hanging out. Thank you, everybody.
Good show. Good show. I enjoyed the convo, everybody.
Yes. We covered a lot of ground too. We got Barbie, we got Lovey, we got Katie, we got Saba, and we got RVD. And we got all you. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week here on One of a Kind with who? Oh, it's with RVD.
I hope you do.
I hope you do. And Barbie.
My